All right, welcome back, sports fans. We're finally live again after kind of a 2 week hiatus here. We're on episode 12. Um, so this week we're kind of getting into basketball. We're getting into football. So it's kind of a hectic time in sports. Um, but real quick, I mean, we might as well jump in. We're looking kind of an outlook on this show. We got March Madness coming up. So we're going to discuss the conference tournaments this week. And technically, we'll be a little late next week, but we are planning kind of a big March Madness themed episode for next week, revealing both mine and Ethan's brackets. We hopefully might get Corey in on it. We'll have to see, being the new dad that he is. So we'll have to see how that rolls with him. And we also tossed an idea, kind of details coming soon, maybe holding a little bracket challenge of our own. So we might further details to come on that probably from Twitter. So without further ado, let's just get into it. What we got for the news this week?
Yeah, so once again, we've had a busy week with the NFL, NBA, a little bit of slow week going on, but NFL free agency, full force going on right now. Lots of signings that we'll hit on later. Talk about those in more detail. But just some quick things that happened today. We got Kenny Pickett traded from the Steelers to the Eagles to back up Jalen Hurts. And then yesterday, the Bears, your Bears, big time trading for Keenan Allen. So that's huge that
That's
they
big
were
time.
able to get another wide receiver to go on the other side of DJ Moore, which Allen plays in the slot a lot. So it'd be good to have him, and we'll see what they do. Come April in the draft, and maybe get Marvin Harrison to go on the other side, or if it's Caleb Williams or a trade down, we'll just have to wait and see. But a lot of different things that could happen with your Bears. But what you got a thought on that?
Exciting. It's exciting times. When we woke up to that this morning about the Keenan Allen trade, and I'm like, oh no, what'd they give up? Because he's older, but he's been consistent. I know he was a year rental, probably two coming into the year. Um, and I saw it, and it was a fourth, and I think it was from what we gained from the Carolina trade.
Yeah,
So, we lost nothing, in other words,
yeah,
and gained one of the best receivers the game has seen consistently, even on bad teams. He was still a
yep,
1,000-yard receiver last year on a bad Chargers team. So that's exciting, and them giving up little to get him, especially with DJ Moore on the other side. And if we bring in a young wide receiver, it's a good receiving core, whether we keep Fields or not as well. So either Fields coming in next year is going to have one of the biggest or best experiences in the NFL, or if we do get Caleb Williams or another quarterback, it's probably the best start a rookie quarterback will ever have with the
yep,
talent that we have around us. So I'm pretty excited. Very excited,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, so that's what I seen on Twitter earlier, and I'm pretty sure you liked it or whatever. But the haul they got for that number
Mm-hmm.
one pick last year, DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Keenan Allen, and the first overall pick this year, and a second rounder. Like they're set, and if they keep Fields with the team that they have, you know, and they don't succeed, then
Yeah,
you got to
exactly.
move on. But give them a shot,
Yep.
and I think it's going to be awesome. So we'll just have to,
It's-
can't wait for the NFL season already. That's my thing. So
Yeah, and I'm getting excited, which is not my thing. But with the Bears,
yeah,
with him doing what he's doing, GM Ryan Poles, shout out to him. He's done an amazing job within the
yeah,
past 2 years. Yeah, everyone's chastising him for the Chase Claypool thing, but he's made one bad mistake, and look at what the great,
yeah,
like, pretty much God GM that he just pulled off. So,
yeah,
I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. I'll be
good,
heartbroken if Fields is gone, but I get it. It is what it is. But
yeah.
what he's done outside
Business
of that,
decision.
exactly. What he's done outside of that's very good. So it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And so then we got the Vikings. I seen they moved up with the Tex or got the Texans first round pick this year
Mm,
so that they could potentially package those two up. There's like 23 and 12 to try to move up and get a quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks, whether that be Drake May, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy. I don't think they have enough to move up to one, but you never know.
no.
So maybe get Caleb Williams. Just have to wait and see. But um, so just a few NFL moves, like with trade wise. There's probably been a few other small ones, but those are some of the big ones that have hit through. So uh, then we've got moving into college basketball conference tournaments going on right now. Some big
Mhm.
teams have already lost. Duke lost last night. Tennessee lost today.
Smashed.
So
Got
yeah,
smashed today.
yeah, and I picked them. You know, said they could win the Natty, but
I know, right? Yep.
yeesh. But yeah, so we'll see how the tournaments keep going, and we'll hit on that some more later. But just going through real quick, NBA, playoffs are starting to really shape up, and teams are really starting to separate themselves, whether they're at the top or through the play-in tournament. So it's getting exciting for the NBA.
Mhm.
So, but just the last thing to touch on really is I seen one of the debate shows they were talking about Bronny James this morning,
Okay.
and their season came to an end last
Yep.
night. They were like 16 and 15 all year long or something, so
Yeah.
they're not going to be making the tournament. Um, do you think he is one of the rare players that will be a better pro than he was a college athlete, or do you think he needs to stay another year? How do you feel about that?
Um, on his name alone, I don't think he should stay because a team is going to look at that. LeBron can opt out this year, I believe, and a team's going to be greedy and just spend a first round pick on it in hopes that LeBron comes and joins them. I mean, that's
Yeah,
very good strategy by an NBA team. So on name alone, I do not believe he should, or yeah, on name alone, he should come out. I do not believe he should stay in college. On skills and like overall basketball, I think he could benefit another year. He could also be a 4 year guy. I don't know. I don't think he's ready per se for the NBA, but give him an off season with dad, and he'll be
yeah,
fine. Obviously, he's got it in him. So um, I don't know, and he could end up being a better pro just because of the pedigree that he comes from.
yeah,
So and the treatment he's going to get too. So I don't know. That one's kind of split for me, but on name alone, I think he should just go ahead and come out because I think he'll go higher.
yeah, yeah. And that's what that was. Kind of thinking about that, and like if he comes out, you get through somebody like Philadelphia, who you have Joel Embiid, who's bona fide superstar, top 5, 10 player in the league, but you know he needs something else,
Yes.
and they've run through players and trying to
Yep.
figure it out. But they've got Tyrese Maxey, but like at
Mhm.
that point, why not be like, okay, well we're going to draft Bronny in the first round
Yep.
and see if we can get LeBron to land here. Like in
Yeah.
that case, you've got LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, and a legitimate team in the East. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I I'm kind of with you. I think he should leave, but he could
Mhm.
really benefit another year. So
Yeah. Yeah. I also think like when I say first round, I don't think like top 5. I
yeah,
don't think a team's going to do that unless there is like a guarantee that if there's a guarantee LeBron's coming with him, he's going number 1. It won't matter.
yeah,
Like and that to me isn't right, but I don't think LeBron's going to guarantee that
yeah.
because
No,
just to play with his kid. So I would give him like I would give him like 10 through 15 though, just on a chance. I
Yeah,
could see that
Spurs.
honestly.
The Spurs would be an interesting fit
Mhm. Yeah.
alongside Wembanyama, and they could still
Yeah.
even like trade or sign Trey Young in the offseason too, and so have Trey
Yeah.
Young, LeBron, Wembanyama. Like that could be an interesting big three. So be cool to see.
I agree. Um, kind of to finish up your segment, the only thing is, kind of this weekend we got is the Players Championship, which is PGA.
Yes.
It's TPC Sawgrass. I was actually watching it before coming on the show, the second round. Um, I could not tell you who's winning right now. Rory was yesterday, but he fell pretty hard today. Um, I shouldn't say hard. He dropped down one stroke, but I think the winner's like at plus 14 right now, so he's pretty far behind. And I think it might be Wyndham, Patrick Wyndham, maybe I think is the
Okay.
leader right now.
That's what I was going to take a look real
Um,
quick.
well, that's always cool to kind of throw in. We enjoy golf. Both suck at it, but
Yes.
aiming to get better. But we like. I mean, I enjoy watching it. It's kind of a nice watch on a Sunday if nothing else is going on. It's very relaxing. Um, but So hopefully later in the year, I mean, we have the Players, which is a big one, and then April, which is a huge month in the Masters. That's a huge tournament. So there'll be a little golf on the show here and there. So
That's right.
maybe when I
And
come
then
in, we're
check
gonna
out
go
our
golfing. So
check out our TikTok page for some golf content
yeah,
coming soon.
strictly funny golf content because there will
Yeah,
not.
no
I
skill.
mean, there might be some lucky shots, but like off a tree onto the green type stuff. But
Yep, that's it.
um, that's about it. So moving on, you kind of discussed it in the news segment. We do have the college basketball conference tournaments going on. Um, Shame on me, I have not been following the women, so I can't really speak on that. But the men um, are kind of lining up here. I am going to share a screen for people watching on YouTube or after the show if you're watching and can see the screen. Um, let's get into it. Here we go. So this website, shout out to hoopshd.com. Just found it right before the show here. They kind of go through every conference, which we're going to breeze through these because some of these mean nothing to us because I don't have a clue what some of these conferences are. Kind of like this first one, like the American East. Like it looks like towards the end, we got a Vermont and a Massachusetts Lowell. No clue. Didn't even know a
Yeah,
Massachusetts Lowell existed. But it does look like it's a 1 and 2 matchup. And that is slotted for Saturday. So we'll know they're kind of automatic big by then. The American, I have heard of this one at least. So that's a plus. As of today, looks like right now we got Florida Atlantic and North Texas and Charlotte and Temple, both tonight, and then South Florida and UAB. So I know South Florida recently has made some noise quite a bit in the tournament, I
yeah.
think. So I think they're probably a lock in that conference per se.
I'd say
Kind of
they'll probably get a
underdog.
bid, even if they don't win.
Yeah,
They'll probably get a bid in the
yeah,
tournament.
I do too. Then we have one that's a big one, the ACC, um, which we have North Carolina and Pittsburgh playing right now. So that is dedication on the show's part. We're both missing our teams for the show. We didn't really plan that very well, I don't think, but that's okay.
It's all
Um,
good.
so in the semis on ours, we got us, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, and then North Carolina State, Virginia. And North Carolina State pulling up the upset over Duke last night.
Down go the
Um,
Dukies.
I know I mean, they're still getting in. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
but
they should.
um, but that North Carolina State. Me and my wife were talking about this yesterday. They always seem to trip up us, like both North
Mm,
Carolina and Duke. They're kind of like the step sibling of the Carolina like blue bloods there, and
yeah,
they always seem to creep up. And then Virginia on the end of that is very good too. They're always a good defensive team. So Shaping up pretty good in that one. I hope
To
Carolina's
Carolina,
playing really
probably.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, Carolina probably going to win. Probably will win.
they should. I mean, they with Duke out, that really you need to win it. Like,
Yeah,
there's no reason not to at that
yeah.
point. Um, so the ASUN tournament, I have no okay, Austin P. At least I've heard of that college, but Stetson looked like it took that one only by 3 though.
Hmm. Never
Um,
heard of
I,
Stetson.
I haven't either, but I mean that's always an automatic bid. So that ended
Yep.
last week. We have the A10, which is kind of a bigger one, bigger, smaller one, I guess. St. Joe's, VCU, St. Bonaventure, and Du- Duquesne, I think is how they say that one.
Hmm.
Um, I think all 4 of those have been in the tournament, right?
Yeah, and all of them
Like,
are five. You got a 5, 6, 7, and a 9 seed.
yeah, that's crazy. Who was the one? Richmond. So
Richmond.
that
They got
so
beat by
they
St. Joe's.
yeah, so
That's what
that one's up in the air. I
I
mean,
think. St. Joseph is probably gonna like. I think they're a good team. That's Patino's team, isn't it?
no, St. John's is
St.
Patino,
John's. Yep. That's
which
I
is
don't
our
know what I was
next.
thinking.
Which actually, well, I mean, we'll just jump into that. That's our next one. So they pulled up an upset
Yep.
over who was that?
Seton
Was it
Hall.
Seton Hall? And they killed them. I
Yep.
mean, they crushed them.
Yep.
So
19.
that one though, I think is down to Connecticut and Marquette for sure, and
Yeah,
that'll
because
be a battle.
Creighton beat or Providence. Yeah,
Yep.
Providence beat Creighton last night. That was a
Yeah.
good one. I watched the Marquette Villanova one. That was a good game. The just barely made it to overtime. Guy had it on the edge of his fingertip with no time left,
Oh wow.
and so they called it off because they were already on the floor celebrating their win, and they ended up having to call it off. So that was a good game. But then they just kind of pulled away in overtime. So
I'll tell you what though, that conference is a lot tougher than what people think. Like
yeah,
they got some dogs in there. I mean, the Big East is kind of back. You know, when Louisville was in there, I mean, it's kind of back to that. I mean, they're all those teams
yeah,
are
yeah.
really good.
Connecticut, Marquette, Creighton, good teams.
Nova's always
That's
good. I mean,
yeah, and that's like
Providence is good.
Providence. They're sneaky good.
Mhm.
Their best player, um, I've honestly went blank on his name. 2 years ago was at Kentucky, and then he transferred out.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I remember that. I
so
don't remember the name, but I do remember
that's what
them
I
doing
was.
that.
I can see his face, but I just went blank on his name. But yeah, he is he's a dog out there on the defensive
Mhm.
and the offensive end. So
Yeah, that's huge. We got the Big Sky, which looks like it's all out west. All west teams. Yeah, which makes sense. Big Sky, Montana, all them. Looks like Montana State won that earlier in the week, so they got there on that's just a 5 seed. So that's something. We got the Big South, which I've heard of a few of these. We have Longwood winning, which I've never heard of
Longwood,
that, but that's kind of cool.
no,
So they're in it. We got another one. We got the Big Ten, which is kind of my region of basketball, which, no offense, is a kind of a boring game of basketball. I'm not gonna lie. Even down in the high school, like
yes,
we've been to one high school game, and it's kind of, I don't know, from what we came from, the kind of the run and gun style. It's very
yeah,
boring, and that's exactly what kind of Wisconsin is. But it does win every now and then. Unfortunately, that you don't want to hear that, but
nope, not at
looks
all.
like another. I really think Purdue has this one. I don't know your thought. You think anyone can trip
Yeah,
them up? It's
I
hard to beat a
like
team 3 times, but
it is honestly like I like Indiana
okay,
because they've got some shooters. I think they can if they can squeak past Nebraska, but I also like Ohio State. They
yeah,
fire their head coach mid-year, and the new interim guy that he's got them playing, and
yep,
so if they can I think Ohio State could make it at least to the finals on Sunday. If they
Okay.
can get to the game on Sunday, they may have a shot of getting in the tournament.
Okay. I like that.
But I do think Purdue,
Yeah.
that EE kid, is just too
You
good.
can't you can't go against them. And honestly, I watched Wisconsin play them. Wisconsin played them the last game of the year, and I mean, at the end, it came down to Edie. He was just too powerful, but Wisconsin
Yeah,
held their own. So that game tomorrow, that could be where they get tripped up. Wisconsin's kind of sneaky good, especially on a neutral floor.
yeah,
So I don't know. That one will be interesting. I do have Purdue. I think they're gonna kind of insert their dominance and kind of run away with that one. But
yeah, yeah.
let's see. We got
They're
the
just good.
big. What we got? Big 12. So Houston, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and Baylor. I don't watch any of these teams, but I know Houston is. I mean, obviously they're number one, but
Yep.
they're just damn good. So I would assume
Yeah,
they're gonna take this one pretty easy.
yeah. That's what I like. Houston. They don't score a whole lot of points, but they don't give up points.
No,
That's their thing. They pride on their defense.
that last one they
So
gave up 45 points.
yeah,
Like you're D1 basketball, you should be able to score more than 45 points. Like that
exactly.
that that's a
I don't.
like
Yeah,
their defense is good.
my team, the Cats. We score 45 points and a half almost
Right.
every single game. So
Exactly. Exactly. Another one, Big West, kind of smaller schools. Although all of them have been in. There's the in baseball they're called the Dirtbags, which is awesome. But Long Beach State, UC Irvine, you got two UC schools in there, which is interesting. In Hawaii, I'm
go Hawaii.
kind of rooting for the boy LBS, the boys, like just because I
There you
love their
go.
baseball. Like
Yeah,
I think they're called the Dirtbags or something like that.
that's pretty cool.
So I tell you what, they can score. They scored 86 their last game. So I'm gonna say an
They
upset in
could.
that one, and LBS is going to the dance. The
Nice.
CAA, Coastal Athletic. Who the fuck? Yeah, sorry for cussing.
Sorry for guessing.
Yeah, right. Um, okay, so that's Hofstra. My shout out to my cousin. She went there for golf. But okay,
Yeah,
so
William
College
and
of
Mary,
Charleston.
Monmouth.
Okay, I think College of Charleston's been in it before, right? I think they have.
I've no clue.
I
Probably.
just that name sounds familiar. Um, oh, okay. So Western didn't. I told you wrong. Western did not win the tournament, but they are in the finals for Saturday. So Conference USA
Okay.
Western, which is our used to be our closest school, where we both went. So Western Kentucky is playing UTEP. I got the Hilltoppers in this one. They're playing pretty.
Gotta
They're
have
playing
them.
pretty well.
Gotta have the Hilltoppers. We gotta, you know, gotta cheer for the hometown
Oh
team.
yeah,
So
you
let's
got,
go.
and they've scored.
Shout out Corey and Shelby
Yep,
Wheeler.
yep, yep. So they've scored 89 and 85. There's no the closest score of the whole tournament 78, and that team's out.
Yeah,
So we're looking good. We're looking really good.
yeah.
So
Got Kentucky transfer Dante Allen on the
mhm,
roster. I don't even know if he's getting any playing time, but
hey,
shout out Dante.
he is at a 85 to 54 game. I can tell you that. If he
Yes, for
isn't,
sure.
so we got the Horizon League, which Oakland won that. Which I think I saw that the other day. Uh, I watched that Milwaukee game. I think I remember that Milwaukee and Oakland, and I was watching that game, and it was probably the worst basketball I've ever seen. Like it was, I swear to God, there was at least 5 consecutive times there was a turnover each way. Like it was
Gosh.
bad. It was really bad, but good for them. We got the Ivy League that hasn't even started yet. So we have all the smart kids: Princeton, Yale, Cornell, and Brown. Um, dude, let's go
Four
Cornell on
teams.
that one.
All
I'm gonna go
right.
Cornell.
I'm gonna go Yale just to be
Yeah.
different here.
Okay.
I have no clue, so we're gonna go Yale.
I have no idea. they're too smart for us to even know. Like they know the trajectory that it's supposed to have, like the perfect
Yeah.
shot and all that.
I need to
So
shoot this shot on a 32% angle here, and
yeah,
it'll go swish.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
though, they're just a bunch of ballers out there who are
They
also
are they are
smart.
pretty
So
much.
can't
So
be
the
making fun of them too much.
Metro Atlantic. So that is Quinnipiac, maybe St. Peter's, Fairfield, and Marist. Hmm.
I'm gonna go St. Peter's. They upset my Cats a couple years ago in the tournament,
Did they?
so we're gonna
Oh,
go St. Peter's.
oh, is that the? Is that the? Are they like the Peacocks? Is that team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll go with them.
And
I like that.
they had one guy transfer out. I don't know where he went, but he did. He ended up.
All right. So Mid American. Hey, we got another kind of no one seed in. We got a Kent State, who's an 8 seed who upset them. Bowling Green, Akron, and Ohio. Is this like an? Is this like an
That's
all Ohio
three.
conference?
That's
Or is Kent State in
three.
Ohio too?
I'm not sure if it is. I think
3
it
of them at
is.
least are.
Toledo is. Kent State is. Bowling Green is. Akron, Miami, Ohio, of course, and Ohio, of course, but Western
So
Michigan and
2
Central
Western,
Michigan.
so 2 Michigan teams. That's crazy. I never realized
Yeah,
that.
me
I'm a
neither.
ride the Kent State dream there for that one. Number
All
8
right.
seed
Yeah.
going the whole
Right
way.
on.
The MEAC, we got Norfolk State, Howard, North Carolina Central, and Delaware State. Don't even care who wins this.
Nope.
I'll
Next.
say Norfolk State, Missouri Valley tournament. We got Drake. They've been in it a couple times, and they upset the
Yep.
number 1 seed. So they've been in the tournament. Seems like they always do. So shout out to them. Mountain West, Utah State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and New Mexico. All those teams have been in it, and probably I would assume are going to be in it. So don't care about them
Yeah.
either.
You got San Diego State, Kawhi Leonard
Yep.
alum.
Yep. We got the Northeast, who Wagner won that. They've been in it
A 6 seed.
a lot. 6 seed one. That's cool. Ohio Valley, another. Good lord. Morehead State. That's Kentucky, right? Or
Yep.
Tennessee? Kentucky.
No,
Down towards the
Morehead's in
Tennessee.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Down towards the Tennessee line, I think. Another big one, Pac-12. Arizona, Oregon, Washington State, and Colorado. So I told Mandy this yesterday. I'm rooting for Arizona just because our boy transferred there and Caleb Love.
Yeah.
So if Carolina can't win, I want them to win. So that's what I'm going to go with here. I like Arizona in this one.
Same.
And they're
They're
good.
too good. They're very good.
The Patriot League, we got Colgate. They're always usually that's the number 1 seed running the tournament.
Yep.
And then we got yours, the SEC. We got Mississippi State, who trashed Tennessee. We got Auburn, and we got Kentucky, Texas A&M playing now, and then Alabama and Florida later. So who you have? This is your conference. Who you have? Who do you like?
Yeah.
Obviously
So
Kentucky you like, but
yeah, kind of just looking ahead. Right now, or we were losing last time I checked to A&M, so we lost to them earlier in the year too in overtime. So I'm not super confident in this game, to be honest, because JJ Taylor for A&M's tough.
okay.
But if we win tonight, we should beat Alabama or Florida. We should
I see you run
honestly,
it, right?
we should. I think today's our toughest test
Yep. I'd agree
because
with
I
that.
think we can beat Florida. We lost to them in overtime on poor time management, poor coaching.
Mhm.
Basically, we run through Alabama once, we can do it again, and then we beat Auburn. And I don't know if we played Mississippi State this year.
But I mean
I'm
they're
not
living
sure,
on a
but yeah,
dream.
I do. Yeah, I think we win it. It shouldn't be too tough, but I think we go through and claim a number 2 seed in the big dance.
I do too. I agree with that. That's what they were saying with Tennessee loss. They're saying should Carolina get the last number 1. And
Yeah,
I still
as long
feel
as they win it.
they'd have to win it or at least get past today. honestly, because that would be where Tennessee lost. So it would kind of be up in the air. So
Yeah.
the Southern tournament, we had Samford winning, which that they've been in it before. The Southland tournament, we got McNeese State. They've been in it before. We got the SWAC tournament. We got Grambling, and they're either going to play Alabama A&M or Texas Southern. We go
Ooh.
Grambling. That's
Yeah.
they've been in it before.
Yep.
Summit League, South Dakota State, the Sun Belt, where Western used to be, is
Yep.
James Madison, which they've been in it quite a bit, so they're a popular pick. West Coast tournament. Look at St. Mary's. I did not. I didn't. That didn't recollect with me that they beat Gonzaga. That's awesome for them.
Yeah. I
They've
hadn't
been in
seen
their
that just
shadow.
till now. It was the first time. Yeah.
They've been in
It's
their
good
shadow
to.
for a long time, so that's good. And then the
Yep.
WAC, which
Gonzaga's
is
been
the
playing
last
well.
one. So we got Grand
Mm.
Canyon, Seattle, Tarleton, and Texas Arlington, which we could care less about that one too. So
Yep. I'm just gonna call it quick Tarleton. Just I like the name, so
I
that's where
like
we're
it.
going.
I like that name too. So that was a brief rundown. We've already had a lot of ups. I mean, I wouldn't say upsets, but a lot of upsets. Tennessee, Duke, and I think we're actually tied with Pittsburgh, so that could be an upset in the making, which would suck. But
Yeah.
kind of your way too. You're
Yeah.
losing,
We're down by
you know.
9.
So that you never know. So, but this is all in preparation for Sunday, Selection Sunday, which we talked about it in the beginning. We're going to try and get some things lined up. I know next week for sure we'll be a couple days late technically from the playing games and stuff, but we'll just hit on those and then go into our bracket uh, reveal per se. And then again, we're gonna try a bracket challenge. We'll see how we can set that up. I know that's kind of your thing, so um, maybe put some money on the line. I don't know, but we'll see. We might have one for fun and might have one for money if people are invested in that. So I know Corey will be either way, more so
Oh
for the
yeah.
money probably. So um, so that's that. That is basketball as of now, college basketball. Moving on to the NBA, which we haven't really covered much, just because it's been, kind of regular season lull, I guess you'd say. But like you said in the news, it is starting to kind of shape up a little bit. Again, I'm going to share my screen again. Shout out to the NBA.com for this one. I'm going to show you just as of, let's see, through March 14th. So as of yesterday, this is how it's looking. So I'll run down quick. I'll run down the Western. You can run down the Eastern.
Okay.
Western, one seed right now is Oklahoma City, the Thunder. Two is Denver Nuggets. Three is Minnesota Timberwolves. Four is Los Angeles Clippers. Five is New Orleans Pelicans. Six is the Kings, with the play-in tournament of Phoenix Suns at 7. 8 is the Dallas Mavericks. 9 is the Los Angeles Lakers, and 10 is the Warriors, Golden State. Some bubble teams looking in, which I don't know how the hell number 15 is looking in. Oh, it's eliminated. Never mind. Okay. Um, so 11, we got the Houston Rockets. 12, we got the Utah Jazz. 13, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. And 14, we have the Trailblazers, which is a long. So, well, who we got with the East? I'll let you go through
Yeah.
that.
So I'll run through the East real quick. So number one, already clinching a playoff spot, the Boston Celtics, best team in the NBA right now, all together, best team in
Easily.
the East. Yeah. And then so number two, we got the Bucks, we got the Cavs at 3, the Knickerbockers at 4, Magic at 5.
Yeah,
Good surprise there. I like seeing
agree.
them. Pacers at 6, and then we got the Sixers at 7, Heat 8, Bulls 9,
Look
and the
out.
Hawks at 10. So there's really, the top two teams in the East are the ones that you look at, that you worry about the most. And the rest of them are just kind of based on health. Like
Yep.
if the Heat are healthy, they could make some noise. Same with the 76ers. If Embiid's back, they could make some noise. But Really,
Yep.
on the outside looking in, Pistons aren't doing anything. The Hornets aren't doing anything.
No.
The Raptors are pretty bad, and the Brooklyn Nets they're pretty bad as well. So I'd say these 10 here are probably going to be the 10 that stay because we've only got 16 games left, 15, 16 games left in the regular season. Then we move on to the playoffs. So
Yeah.
it'll be good. But looking over at the West, I think the four play-in teams, I would worry about them more than you know there's only two
Anybody.
other teams. Yeah, like the only other two teams that I would like that I look at 1 through 6 that actually worry about are the Nuggets and potentially the Clippers.
Yep.
But with the Clippers, like what's Paul George done for you in the playoffs? What's Harden ever done in the playoffs? What's
Right.
Russ ever done in the playoffs? Kawhi's the only one, and so I don't know if I necessarily trust them, but I mean I don't really trust Luca come playoff time, and
No. No,
you
I
know
agree. I agree with you. That Western play-in tournament wise is
yeah.
nuts. Like if that's how it ends up, as a fan, I'd rather go to the play-in tournament than the whole playoff. Like
Yeah, yeah, because
those games are
I mean,
insane.
you're gonna get Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant versus Steph, Clay, and Draymond in the
Yeah.
first game. Like winners in the playoff, and the loser has to, play the winner of the 8-9 game. So
Yeah. Like and then you have Luca,
it's
Kyrie going up against LeBron and AD. Like
yeah,
it's all the major players in the West besides Jokic, and that's it. For my surprise in this one, assuming I don't know who's going to come out of the play-in tournament as of yet, but my surprise would honestly be the Kings. I don't
mm,
know if you've seen them much, but Sabonis is a dog. Like
yeah.
he he can ball with De'Aaron Fox. Like they've got something cooking down there,
Yeah, yeah,
in Sacktown. So
yeah.
I kind of
I
like them.
seen
I like Minnesota too, honestly.
I do too, which is with Sabonis, like he's 10-0 versus 80 all time.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then now he leads I think I seen it right. He leads the league in triple doubles this year with
yeah,
like 29 or something stupid. Like they're tough, but I
yeah.
think
They're
their
tough.
lack of playoff experience is
Right.
gonna be their issue. But kind of same with Minnesota and OKC. I
Mhm.
think they're both a year away,
Yep.
especially OKC. If they have to go against hell, just about anybody in that playoff team that play in tournament, especially like the Lakers. If it's Lakers OKC round one, I think it's like Lakers in five.
Yeah. Probably just on experience.
Yeah.
Um, in the East, I mean, I like Boston this year 100% the whole way. Honestly, they have the team to do it. And they're playing really good basketball. Um, I think the Bucks are gonna flake out this year. Um, just again, not enough team chemistry. In other words,
Yeah.
um, Cleveland again is young. Um, so I don't know. I don't think there's real surprises in any of it. To tell you the truth, um, my Bulls aren't going to do it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of out on that. And then yeah, no one. I don't really like anyone in the East besides Boston. To tell you the truth.
Yeah. I like the Knicks a little bit,
Mm,
but their second round matchup is going to be against Boston more than likely.
yep.
And
Yeah, and they're out.
I I've I'm a Boston fan, so I can't say too much. I think they're going to be they're really good. I think they're the best team in basketball. My only if I had to give them any kind of criticism, it would be I don't think Jason Tatum is tough enough in crunch time because like
Mm,
they're when it comes down to like game winning shots or whatever, like their percentage of winning is terrible, and he's just so like they were playing Cleveland the other night and had Darius Garland on him, and he has like 6 inches on Garland, and he backed him down and shot a fade like a step back fadeaway, and like instead of just going to the basket and drawing a foul or trying to score, and they lost. And he takes a lot of contested jumpers instead of
Yes.
try to draw contact and be physical. So that would be my only criticism of Boston.
Okay.
But
All right.
I think they're going to win it all.
I do too. I like them this year. So again, that was NBA as of now, or technically as of yesterday. But so looking at that, a lot of things can change. There's a lot of movement that can happen, especially in the West.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean, we'll keep out. I mean, again, you said what, 10 more games, right? 12,
yeah.
10?
Somewhere between like
Somewhere in
10 and 15 depends
there.
who it is.
So a lot of things can happen in a 12 game end. So that's our basketball talk. So we had a crazy football week. In other words, we had a lot of free agency, a lot of movement. This will be another one. I'll share my screen too. But first thoughts. What's your number one thought of the free agent see so far? Like shock
Money,
or
money everywhere.
yep,
They're just throwing dollars out everywhere at people. So
yep, yep.
even
I'll agree.
even the smaller free agents are getting paid, or the
Hmm.
ones you wouldn't think would get, the money. Like everybody's getting paid.
Yep, yep. I agree that it's big money week. Um, and rolling with big money week. We'll kind of just dive right in. I won't go through every one of these because it'd be a little monotonous, but kind of the big ones. Um,
Yeah, we'll just hit on who we like.
yeah, shout out to the PFF here for the free agency tracker we got. So starting with the quarterbacks, to me, obviously Kirk Cousins is the big one.
Yep,
Um, coming off an injury, a pretty big injury at that, and he gets 4 years, 180 million with Atlanta. So that kind of surprised me. I know he was linked there a lot, but I really thought he was going to go back to the Vikings. I thought they were going to do it, but
yeah, yeah. Same. I thought he would. I thought he would go back, but at the same time, I saw where his wife or something is like from the Atlanta area, so
ah,
I don't, I don't blame him. And
no,
they've got some serious talent there as well. So they're
yeah,
gonna they're gonna be they're gonna be competing with the number two guy, Baker Mayfield.
yeah,
So for the division
yeah,
title. So
I
Baker
agree.
getting 3 year 100 mil. So that's big for Tampa.
Yes, that was good on Tampa. I
Yeah,
I like that they did that and signed Mike Evans. You know what? Who cares at that rate? Um, Baker proved it. Mike Evans has been proving it. So, yeah, I
yeah.
like
That
that a lot.
I, I seen just real quick. I seen that they were um, Mike Evans, like right before he signed or whatever, he called Baker and he was like, "Hey, we doing this thing or what?" And Baker was like, "Hell yeah, we are." So they both already knew that they were going back before it even started. So
Before it started. That's good.
pretty cool though.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Another big one, Russell Wilson to the Steelers. Um, on the vet minimum, so now he gets paid from the Denver Broncos and the Steelers. Smart on his part.
Yep,
Um, and really now he's going to be the guy with the recent news of Kenny Pickett getting traded today to the Eagles.
yep,
So I kind of like that move for him. Um, I like it for Pittsburgh. Uh, It's a year rental at a vet minimum that costs you nothing
yeah,
and could produce something. I mean, with that defense, Russell Wilson at quarterback, that's looking pretty good down there, honestly. They have a tough
yeah.
or
That's
tough division, but
yeah. I like the signing. I just don't know how much it moves the needle because, like you said, tough
Yeah.
division. You've got the Ravens, the Browns who have made moves, and then the
Mhm.
Bengals. Joe Burrow's coming back. Like I think they're
Yep.
still going to finish fourth, and
Yeah.
trading
Good.
their best receiver too doesn't help any. So,
No, I
but
agree.
we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And really none of the others are a shock per se. Gardner Minshew going to the Raiders is, I don't know, shocking, but not bad.
Yeah,
Jacoby Brissett coming back to the Patriots. I didn't know until then that Jameis Winston is going to the Browns, so that was
yeah, big
new.
Jaboo.
Tyrod
Yeah,
Taylor going to the Jets. That's a good move for the Jets, actually.
yeah. They're
Rodgers might
gonna.
get hurt again.
He may be the
Or
VP.
right, maybe in
He may
office.
just be
So
done playing football.
um so yeah, I mean nothing too crazy on those regards. This is where we kind of start getting a lot of big names going different places. Um,
Yeah,
we'll start with the first one, Saquon Barkley going to the rival Eagles. That that to me is a shock. Just that the Giants wouldn't throw him more money, so he wouldn't go there. In a way,
yeah.
um, I think it helps them a lot for sure.
It's a good move
That-
for him.
yeah, I agree.
Go to a run heavy team,
Hmm.
and with that offensive line, like he may rush for 1,500 this year. So
You wanna you wanna put a projection out there that Kelsey comes back after that signing? That'd be pretty
nah,
wild.
I think he's
He's done,
done.
but
I'd like to say he would, but he's done.
I'd come back for that for a year
Yeah, yeah.
after signing
And
him.
he
You never
he
know.
may he may about halfway through the year be like, I got that itch. Let me come
Yeah,
back for a late season postseason run. But I don't
yeah,
know. At that point, he may be like
I'm good.
the Chiefs center gets hurt or something, and they call him up, and he may be like,
That'd be
yeah,
wild. That'd be wild.
that would be.
Um, I think one of the most shocking one to me was Josh Jacobs this year.
Yeah.
That one, I saw that and I'm like, what? Like, I mean, not that I care, but they sign him and then they get rid of Jones, who ends up going to the rival Vikings, which I think is a big fu to the Packers, in my opinion. That's the reason he did that. But
Yeah.
um,
It's
I
just
mean,
not a
they got younger per se because he is younger than Jones, but I don't know.
but you're
Jones was
paying
that guy.
4 year 48 million, and
Yeah.
that's I
Well,
thought Jacobs would want to go to a team where he could not only get paid, but I mean, I guess looking at that, you're looking at getting paid and competing. So,
mhm,
and Green Bay's only getting better. So,
mhm.
may have been a good move, but I was thinking
May
more
have
like
been.
Houston
Yeah, I
somewhere.
agree.
But
I I don't know on this one. We are in Wisconsin, so it is obviously Green Bay is religion here, which I cannot stand. But um, when I saw that, this one shocked me because that was the one position I thought they had on lock. Like that and the quarterback, there was no reason to even look. And then I see
yeah.
that, and I'm like, well, he got younger, and also I think the breakdown of this is the first year is guaranteed, and then the next 3 are team options.
Hmm.
So why
Okay.
would you do that as Josh Jacobs? To me, like that doesn't make
Doesn't
sense.
make a lot of, yeah, no. But maybe
So
he's okay with it if they're like, well, we're just gonna go ahead and move on, and he's like, well, I got my 12 million,
yeah, true.
whatever, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna go, and a signing bonus, whatever it is, and then I'm gonna go sign with a contender somewhere.
yeah, yeah, makes sense.
So you never know.
Uh, Derrick Henry making the Baltimore Ravens that much better is huge. Um,
It was inevitable that was gonna happen. I think.
I really thought Dallas was. I thought Dallas was the one to do it, but they don't seem to move at this time of the year.
They ain't
So
done nothing.
no, but that's a good pickup for Baltimore. That's huge for Lamar. Um, all around good. Tony Pollard to the Titans surprised me too.
Yeah.
Um, Eckler to the Commanders. 2 years, 11 mil. I mean, a lot of other teams should have done that besides the Commanders.
Yeah, for
Another one
sure.
that my team for sure. Um, the Bears making a lot of moves in free agency this year, which is awesome. We talked about it a little bit in the news segment, but they got DeAndre Swift, which again, I wasn't projecting a running back being signed from the Bears that until like the Barkley and all of them started coming up. I really didn't expect Swift. Like one, I didn't even know he was a free agent, to tell you the truth. But them signing him, he's young. He's coming off his career year in Philly, and they were kind of down for Philly's sake. Um, I like this one a lot, especially with
Yeah.
Herbert in the backfield with him. So
That's the one I'm honestly like. I like DeAndre Swift, but I'm not 100% sold on it because I thought the Bears, like, if you could have got Saquon or Josh Jacobs, like a massive upgrade, like, go for it. But I'm not sure how much of an upgrade he is over Herbert and your rookie running back,
yeah,
because stat wise, those two were just as good as DeAndre Swift was last year.
yeah, yeah. I don't
So,
know.
but but you got the money,
Yeah,
might
I
as
mean
well
it.
spend it, figure it out.
Oh,
And if
and
it doesn't work, move off of it.
it's not a bad contract either. I
No,
mean,
8 mil a
um,
year. That's pretty
yeah,
easy.
we'll take that. Um,
Yeah.
and also, I know they did have an offer into Saquon, and he picked the Eagles. So I think
Mm,
Swift was their safety net. In other words,
fair. Yeah. The
and again,
only
Swift, you could put him kind of like a Wes Welker type receiver.
yeah, yeah, move out the slot a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the only other running back that wasn't on our list that got traded. Joe Mixon got traded to Houston.
yeah,
So I
I
forgot to hit on that.
I don't I don't like that for Houston, honestly. But they needed a running back, and he was best available. So I get
Yeah.
it. Looks like your team signed someone. I didn't even know they did anything. The Antonio Gibson. What do you think of that? Is that a decent? The money's right. I mean, it costs you nothing.
It's a third down guy to come in and make a couple catches out of the backfield. But other than that, he's probably, I guess that means they're going to move off Ezekiel Elliott. I hope they sign him back, but it doesn't look like it. We got Ramondre
Yeah,
Stevenson, who's our bell cow though.
gotcha. Just kind of two bigger names, if you want to call them that, still on the market is J.K. Dobbins, who gets hurt a lot,
Yep.
and Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. So he had fumbling problems, though, I think. So
Yeah.
might be a
He's
tough
been in the
spot for him.
doghouse a little bit.
Yeah. Big wide receiver pool. We already touched on Mike Evans coming back to the Buccaneers. This one I don't know if there was any surprises other than
Mm-mm.
Calvin Ridley kind of surprised me that the Jags didn't pick that up, even with Gabe Davis.
It it blew me away that he picked the Titans because it had come down to the Jags. They said it was down to the Jags and the Patriots, and the Patriots offered
Mhm.
significantly more than the Jags did. And then all of a sudden, like Calvin Ridley to the Titans.
Tennessee. Yeah,
And
that's
but like I
yeah.
wouldn't want to pay him 23 million a year for 4 years. I
No,
don't
that's
think
that's
he's
a lot.
there.
No,
Yeah.
no, I agree.
I think Gabe Davis is just as good as Calvin
Yeah,
Ridley, and they got Gabe Davis for 13 million a year.
yeah, you'd take that
Like I would,
easy.
yes, I would have loved to have Gabe Davis on the Patriots.
Um, you still got Odell out there though. Might make a little noise.
Yeah, I don't. I think Odell he's gonna wait to sign. Nobody's gonna sign him till at least after the draft. I
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
wrong, but I think he's a little washed now. I think he's just
I do too. I
you
think
know
he's.
hanging out.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised in this one that Kansas City didn't make a bigger play. I mean, I know they had other people to get, but this one kind of I figured they were going to go somewhere. The Bears ex wide receiver goes to Atlanta with Kirk Cousins. That's a big deal for him.
Yeah.
Um, Again, we were talking kind of before the show. I think, or maybe it was during. I can't remember now. But I think Keenan Allen taking his place is a better play for us. So
Yep.
we'll kind of take that.
100%.
Um, that was really it on the receivers, though. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the big names. There's some smaller names that signed, but as far as big names, I think we're good.
Actually, that Devin Duvernay with the Jags is a good. That's a good signing. I think
Yeah, he's
Duvernay's
a
kind of
speedster.
under. Yeah, and actually with a quarterback, I mean Lamar can throw, but Trevor Lawrence is a passer. Like that. That is what he is.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for him. Tight ends, nothing really.
A
Looks like a lot of
lot of
re-signs.
re-signings.
And then
Yeah.
we signed one. We signed the Bears signed one out
Ooh,
of the Chargers, that Gerald Everett.
yeah,
So we
that's a
got
good
him and
pickup.
Keenan Allen.
What about
Um,
Tanyan? Is he still there, or did he?
I think they released him.
Okay.
Probably why they signed this guy, if I were to guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I
Kobe
like that though.
Parkinson, don't know. Resign Austin Hooper, signed
Got
with
the
your boys.
Pats. Yeah.
Mike Gesicki. That's a good pick for Cincinnati. He was good
Yeah.
down there in Miami. So,
Yeah. He was good in New England last year. They just didn't
yep.
use him enough. So
Yeah.
on a cheap
So,
deal.
yeah, that doesn't really make sense. So the Miami, yeah, whatever. Offensive tackles, I'm not going to know really any of these. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Tyron Smith is the best one. Coming from the Cowboys, Hall of Fame
okay.
tackle. I'd like to see him come to New England, but
You already signed
I
two
don't
of
know
them
what's
out
going
of
to
this
happen with
list.
that. Yeah. One of them,
You re-signed
Michael
one.
Onawanu, yeah, he's a definite starter. But the other guy, um, the Okafor, he'll probably just be like a sub guy. He
Okay.
won't be an everyday starter.
Look at George Fant getting another comeback with the Seattle
Yeah, he's
because he
on.
was at the Jets, wasn't he?
Yeah. Before that, he's with Seattle, so
Yeah, and then he
he's
went to the
just
Jets. Now back. He's just collecting that
yeah.
money
Hey,
for
Western
a
Kentucky
basketball
guy.
player. Basketball player turned football player last year is that's pretty impressive.
It is.
Um, Centers, I know we're in this one. Um, so resign Lloyd Cushenberry. I know this name, this Tyler Biotish,
Yeah.
who was on Dallas, right?
Yes, he was.
Goes to Washington. I don't see how Dallas lets him go because he's really good. Um,
Yeah.
and then the guy we signed, that Coleman Shelton, I think he was with the Rams and he started all the games or whatever. So I think he's going to be more of a kind of like you said with that other guy, that Okafor guy. I think he's going to be a backup type guy. Guards, a lot of re-sign. Look at there, the Panthers actually did something. They Robert Hunt they signed for 100 million.
They're making sneaky
Glasgow,
moves. The Panthers are.
yeah, Glasgow signed back with Detroit. That's big for them. All right, and then we got interior defense. The first one actually shocked me for Kansas City. I really
Yes.
thought they were going to pick the other one, L'Jarius Sneed, but or Ladarius, whatever his name is. Um, Chris Jones, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
Whole lot of money. Number one would have been, or would have been tied for the most money by defensive player with Aaron Donald, but forgot to hit on that in the news. Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Donald retired this morning, so
Yeah, that's
now
big.
Chris Jones, he's the
He's the guy.
the
And
highest paid defense player.
actually, I didn't know Fletcher Cox retired.
Yeah,
So Eagles lost a lot. I mean, so all the rest. I mean, DJ Reader, I know that name.
yeah, that's big
Um,
from going from Cincinnati to Detroit. That's big for Detroit.
That Christian Wilkins is big for the Raiders, leaving
Oof.
Miami.
their defensive line is going to be
Yeah.
tough with Max Crosby and Christian
Mhm.
Wilkins because you're not going to be able to double team. You know, if you do, you're going to get one on one with the other, and so like
Yeah,
they're going to pose a whole lot of problems for teams this year. They're just
I agree.
bulking up for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone other Eric Armstead. I know that name for the Jags.
Yeah,
We do have edge defenders, so it looks like Josh Allen. They didn't do what I thought they'd do, and the Buffalo Bills get Josh Allen on both ends of the field. Um,
that'd have been cool.
he got franchise tag. Brian Burns. That was. I don't know what the Panthers are doing with that guy. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Like
The tag and the trade,
in the
like
trade, like
for nothing.
yeah, I don't like it. We got Daniil Hunter, who I thought was a Bears lock, going
Yeah,
to Houston, so that makes that team a whole lot better.
yeah.
Um,
They got so they've got Houston. They so Houston, they got Daniil Hunter on one side, and then they have Will Anderson on the other side.
mhm.
But I'm pretty sure they signed another big defensive lineman. But
uh,
maybe I'm
on this one,
misspeaking
it's
here.
Denicro Autry signed with them, just on this list.
I don't know. No, it was the guy that left them. The
Oh,
Jonathan Greenard. He
oh,
left.
yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's what
he
it
went.
was. Okay.
Yeah, he went to the Vikings,
Yeah. Just
and
kind
I
of switch places.
and I would like honestly, again. All right, so ex Bear, and which I'm upset about. Leonard Floyd goes to San Fran, so
You got to replace Chase Young.
and that's a good replacement. He's Leonard Floyd is the guy. He's
Yeah,
really good.
he's good.
And I wouldn't mind if the Bears actually went and got Chase Young, to tell you the truth, for a
Yeah,
year
somebody
or
to,
two.
bring him in. What is it? Montez Sweat they have?
Bring him back.
Pair them back together.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Chase Young in New England outside
Yep.
of Matthew Judon. So them two together would be pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, at a
So
1 year rate, I really wouldn't even care about Jay Devon Clowney. Jadavion.
yeah,
Wouldn't mind him either.
Clown.
So
Yeah, Clowney's good.
Calais Campbell is out there still.
There's some
Um,
good players out there still. So
yeah,
it'll
Bud
be,
Dupree.
the
That's
market's shaping up. So
Dante Fowler. I thought
some older guys.
yeah. Bud Dupree. He's a decent.
Yeah,
Ngaki.
he played this last year in Atlanta, I believe. He's
Yeah.
been bouncing around the last few years, but he had a decent year in Atlanta. So, for a guy to come in on third down and just rush, like
Yeah.
bring him in.
Yeah. Um, I think the biggest surprise in the linebacker stage is that first one, that Patrick Queen. How do
Yeah.
you how do you go from the Ravens to the Steelers? Like, I guess the
Hey,
same
they
you
threw
can go
that
to
they
Giants
threw
to
the
the Eagles.
bag at
But
him.
yeah, they did.
They threw
3
the
years,
bag at
41
him.
mil.
He said, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, catch me later.
Well, yeah, Ravens can't afford that.
Nope.
So you got Levante David signing back. That's a good one. Bobby Wagner to the Commanders are like making those sneaky moves too. Honestly.
They're gonna be if the Commanders can get the quarterback right, if they can
hmm
get, as much as I hate to say it, but if they can get Jay Daniels or somehow get Caleb Williams,
hmm
I think they win the division this year,
They might.
or at least make a wild card spot. But they could play for the division. I
Yeah.
like the Commanders. They have the weapons. They're tough.
Yep. And we got Devin White going to the Eagles. That's
That
kind
was
of a big.
that's a good pickup.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, other than that, nothing really huge.
Yeah,
Corners, obviously, to me, besides L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Johnson with the Bears is huge. That
yeah,
guy, he's one of the best in the league too, and for us to lock him up for 4 years, that's huge. L'Jarius Sneed
yeah.
was franchise tagged. Kendall Fuller signed with Miami. That's it's a decent
Yeah.
pickup for them.
Big loss for Washington, but for Miami, someone to complement Jalen Ramsey, that's
Hmm.
nice. That's gonna be a nice pickup.
It's huge. Um, nothing really,
Yeah,
nothing
Stephon
really
Gilmore
huge.
still out there.
Yeah,
I'd like to
I
see
bet
him
a
come back
Patriots
in.
call. Yep,
Yeah, I'd love to see that one more
yep.
year.
Safeties, you got a franchise tag for the Bucks on Antoine Winfield. Green Bay got significantly better at safety with Xavier McKinney.
Yeah,
That was kind of that one hurt a little. Um, CJ Gardner Johnson going back to the Eagles because I think he was on Detroit last year, right?
yep, yep.
So
Eagles to Detroit, back to the Eagles.
that's interesting. Darnell Savage, who was with the Packers, is going to Jags. And that's really Micah Hyde's out there. Javon Kersey's
Yeah,
out there still.
that's a
Tayshawn Gibson.
couple of names on the safeties that I really like. So I just kind of wanted to hit on Jordan Poyer to Miami. Leaving
Yeah.
uh, Buffalo and going there. That's huge. But so you look at that, Micah Hyde's leaving Buffalo, so they're going to be struggling a little bit in that secondary this year because they also cut um, Tre'Davious White. So
Okay.
three of their four starters are gone.
Yeah, that's insane.
But big sleeper Jordan Whitehead back to the Bucks. Won a Super Bowl with them. Left in free agency after that, chased the money, went to
Mhm.
the Jets, and then the Jets let him walk this year. And so he's back in Tampa. I know they're super excited about that. I really like Jordan Whitehead. So
Yeah,
that's a
it's a good.
big one. And then last signing I like is Jeremy Chin going to the Commanders. He was huge in Carolina. So I think
Okay.
that's a tough loss for them. But Mike Edwards, I like Mike Edwards, Kentucky boy. He's always been a ball hawk in the league. So he was huge in Tampa in that Super Bowl run, and then
Yep.
went to Kansas City and won a Super Bowl this year. So
Yeah.
he's got two or three rings, and he's a guy that any secondary he can plug and play anywhere in the secondary, safety, slot corner, play on the edge wherever you need him. He's pretty good.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good little rundown. Um, that was it pretty well for me. I do have a little bit of an update. We're only winning by 4. Carolina's only up by 4 with 13 and a half to go. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Let's see. I don't know what are the Kentucky boys doing here.
We
They
are down five,
down 5.
16 to go.
Okay. So just
Not playing
starting.
too well.
So we'll
So
each catch the second half. So that's not too bad.
yeah.
Um, so why don't you just hit him with that outro?
All right. Yeah. So we just want to thank everybody, however and wherever you may be listening. Just tune in with us next week. If you like the content, let us know what you think about it. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Pod, Spotify, wherever you want to listen. Join us next week. Peace.